Hello and welcome. Give me a moment here. Welcome to my channel if you're new. This is a space where we discuss the energetic shifts that we're experiencing, what we're feeling, what our experiences are through this great transformation and evolutionary process that we are all going through at this time on this planet. We talk about astrology and many things, whatever arises. So if you are new, I hope that you find this to be helpful, this channel to be helpful for you, this community to be helpful for you. Hi, Jess. How are you? I wasn't expecting to come on today, but I just had to. I just had to not only connect, but read into this energy together. Hello. Hi, Karen. Good morning. How are you guys? Irritable today. How are you? I am, I can see where the irritability could have taken over because, yeah, there's a lot of infiltrative energies, let's just say, in the field. Hi, Granny Paula. Oh, we love you too. Can't stay. Not feeling well. I know. Wowza. That's why I'm on here. I literally it's been a hard day energetically. Prickly, yes. And that's a good that's a good description. Another reason why I wanted to connect, because I know I'm not the only one. Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. I know I'm not the only one, but it's just like the shocking sensations going through the body, and it's like these zaps and these weird, like, and we've already been having like sleep disturbances if you're sleeping at all. And the last few nights, well, for me personally, I mean, it's all the time, but the last couple of nights, it's just been at an all-time high. Like I'll be able to sleep for about 2 hours, and then bam, something hits me energetically, and I'm like completely taken over by, I know what is sleep, says Jess, taken over by extreme heat and a lot of electrical energies. And I don't like this. I really don't like that sensation. It is definitely, I feel like it is not natural. You know what I mean? No, it's not I know what Kundalini feels like in my body. I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing Kundalini awakenings, and that can be also uncomfortable to say the least. But this is a little different. This is frequency. Karen, sending healing energy to Granny Paula. Yes, healing energy to any and all who are really struggling and not feeling well in this energy, because I'm right there with you. I did all that I could today. It is really, I feel like a broken record, but I keep getting the messages of rest, slow down. Hi, Amy. Jess, work pushed all the buttons today. Yeah, that's going to happen for sure. That is going to happen for sure. And I've had similar things where my buttons were pushed, but it's good. It's a good indicator of what patterns or where are we at energetically that we no longer want to continue in. It's showing up in our field very, very strongly. Hi, Dustin. Yes, the energy is feisty for sure. Thank you guys for confirming to me, because I honestly spent, I thought about it before I came on live today, and I haven't talked to a single soul today. Well, I take that back. This morning, I went downstairs and spent like a 20 minutes with my daughter-in-law and her sister and my grandson. But aside from that, uh, I've been alone, and it's interesting. I usually at least have a dialogue with somebody about what we're feeling, what we're experiencing. um, and it's just been so I looked up the chart today, and right now, as we are live, hi Darren, the moon is void of course, and whenever the moon is void of course, it is not really, it's very strange because it's saying the moon is void of course from 3:49 p.m. to 9:12 p.m. So that's a period of really being in this strange void period where nothing makes sense. Nothing is connecting, right? Karen, I haven't been talking to humans at all. Dogs, birds, no problems, but humans, nope. And probably with good reason because we are really raw, very like yeah, just really raw and sensitive, um extremely sensitive. And I did have a few really beautiful angelic moments today with the angelic realms. Some spirits came to communicate with me, had a little paranormal activity while that was all going on. And I really was, I just had a strange sound. There's been strange sounds going on. And this wasn't even in my house, it was at my sister's house. Karen says tears are just flowing. You know, tears are a form of purification, and we are going through this purification process. And I feel like purification by fire. When I looked at the chart, we've got a lot going on astrologically that I'm not even good. I don't even have the bandwidth to break it all down. But I'm going to just list it all. Because right now the moon is in Virgo. That is the only, not the only, that is the only earth energy, like grounded earth energy is the moon, which the moon is nebulous. It's emotional. It is, it's very interesting. Well, Uranus is in Taurus, but that doesn't really count because Uranus is sort of like all over the place, right? With the Aries sun, Virgo moon today. I'm just talking about today because today is like, I'm even feeling the shocks as I'm talking through my fingers. It's just like my whole body. It's like waves of this shocking, zappy, yucky energy. But tears, emotions, listen to all the aspects the moon is making. Well, the sun is conjunct Chiron. First of all, that's our wounds, the wounded healer, our core wounds. And it is a pretty exact conjunction. Sun in Aries, so that is me, my wounds, my core wounds, and healing, the healing of the core wounds. We have the moon opposed Mercury and Venus, the moon sextile Mars. We got Pisces, Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, Aries, right? The moon opposed Saturn, the moon trine Uranus, the moon opposed Neptune, Mercury trine Mars, Mercury conjunct Saturn, Mercury sextile Uranus, Venus conjunct Saturn, Venus sextile Uranus, Mars trine Saturn, Mars sextile Uranus, Saturn sextile Uranus. And these are only the strong transits. There's so much more going on in the energetics. I feel like also we're picking up on frequencies that, if I can't confirm this, I will read into it. I can't confirm this, but I feel like it is artificial. I don't feel like this energy is natural that I'm feeling today. Some of it is. The spiritual that I was connecting to earlier, very much so. This zappy, yucky, icky, weirdness, it feels chemically. It feels, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Karen says, I'm usually composed, but it's like wasps biting me all the time. Yeah, Yep. And I was almost in tears earlier. When I got home, um, I was just at an all-time, like, sensitivity was at such an all-time high. And those chainsaws and wood chippers were outside my house again. And I'm like, everywhere I go, it's chainsaws and wood chippers. There's really loud, obnoxious sounds and vibrations. Everywhere I go, there's road construction. And I'm just like, what is it with the men at work right now? And they all have masks on and they all look like they're from another planet. I swear, it's the strangest. This is my own experience, but those wood chippers and chainsaws outside my house, yet again, we're on week 2 of this. It really hit me energetically. And that's where I almost broke down in tears. Like, I can't take anymore. I came home after doing what I needed to do to get some peace, to get back into my energy. And here I have just complete aggressive, obnoxious noise and vibration. They finally are gone now. But where was I going with that? Because I wasn't meant to complain about that. That was an observation. And I lost it. Amy, everyone has the right to peace and quiet in their own home. Yeah, you would think so. Right. I agree. I see this as more of a cosmic test. But one of the things that was really very, very strongly, profoundly confirmed to me. So many of us, we have multiple purposes of why we are here. And a lot of us are here to actually work with Earth's energy and the energetic grid of Earth, and to help clear out old energies. And those of us, if you're one of them, because you're extremely connected to nature, you feel like I feel when a tree is getting cut. Those saws, those wood chippers, it's like they're grinding up bones. It's just, it is nauseating for me. And this has been my whole life, has been that way. So to have it constantly following me and me trying to level up energetically so it doesn't take me down has been really, really hard, really, really difficult and exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. No matter where I go to try to get peace from it, it seems to be everywhere I go. So that's one of the things that, and I'm got a confirmation right now. A lot of us are also here to help assist, neutralize or balance collective energy, which I also know that I am a part of. And many of us are all in these combinations here. And that's where we feel the collective energy. We feel it strongly, but we have come to a certain stage on our awakening journey where we know, like, mentally and emotionally, not to get sucked into it, but we're still energetically, we're all tied to it, right? So we feel that very, very strongly. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Amy, as a Cancer, my home is my sanctuary. I would have gone crazy with that. Yeah. My grandson is a Cancer son also, and he's super, super sensitive. And they actually had to go somewhere else because my daughter-in-law's mother had passed away last month, and they're doing a memorial service for her. They're like putting the slideshow and stuff. So he was actually taken out of this environment, thankfully, during all that. But I know it's a lot. Amy, we anchor the higher frequencies. We are channels, highly sensitive and empathic. Yep. Karen, I lost connection to source and felt so alone for a while. Couldn't connect with anyone, but you guys always lift my vibration. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this is helpful. It's helpful for all of us. It really is, just to have this connection and this community. And, we never really fully lose our connection to source, but there are times when we are going through a big, I don't even want to say, it is a test. It's a level up where our guides, they're still there, but they kind of stand back. You know the saying, when the student is taking a test, the teacher stands back. It's kind of like that, and we feel like we are abandoned. We feel like we've lost, like that. Just that's the worst feeling too, especially when you're going through something where you're just really, really raw and vulnerable, and it's like you feel like you've lost connection to everything and everyone, to source, to your guides. And it is like feeling like a child who's been like, oh, interesting. They're saying lost on the boardwalk. When I was a child, I got my parents, like my whole family was like walking away, and I was like roaming around the boardwalk by myself at like age 3. And it's that feeling of like just being lost in this sea of everything, but you can't see above it. Anyway, it's a terrible feeling to have, but we're all here for each other. We're all in it for real. Yeah, we love you, Karen. You're never alone. Darren, I've had a lovely, peaceful day, even though I'm having a lot thrown at me. Good. Dustin says, I love you, Karen. Feeling the love. Hello, Phoenix. Yeah. So, okay. I'm not alone in these zaps, in this okay, it's been a long 6 weeks of this eclipse energy. We're coming up to a really big full moon in Libra. And when I say big, even though the moon it's not a super moon, actually it's furthest from Earth, that energy is very powerful, and Venus moves direct the same time as the full moon in Libra, and Venus is the ruler of Libra. So everything that has to do with our relationship patterns, with our values, our true values, our core values, with beauty, love, art, creativity, and anywhere we have like been stifled or stuck, or a lot of the people pleasing patterns have come back up to really show me, because these are situations and people that I love, and these are situations that arise for me. This is my experience, and like wanting me to participate in something that I'm not in alignment with, as far as like let's just say I'm just not currently in alignment with much of anything right now. It is a micro moon. Much of what I'm in alignment with, I'm trying to get into alignment with whatever newness is birthing from me. And I feel like many of us are having the same experience. And so this full moon is an illuminator of all of those, those roles we play in relationships, and things that have been hidden or come to the surface. It is very emotional. There can be a lot of frustration with Mars still in Cancer, still in post shadow from the retrograde as well. We can still feel like we are moving in molasses slowly, and there's this fire, but the fire, typically from my experience, and this is just my experience, there's a fiery passion, but that fiery passion quickly turns to either frustration or anger, because we're met with an old energy of ourselves that we're meant to like clear, we're meant to level up from. And I feel like I've done a really good job at seeing all of it and not placing blame or projecting outward at anybody or anything that has been bringing those triggers to the old wounds and the old patterns of myself. But it still sucks to go through. It still really sucks to even see yourself like, feeling like you have to make excuses, the ability to say no. The ability to say no without having to make excuses, without feeling the guilt or shame, without carrying that energy with you. When you say no, it's just as a sentence and move on. That's a tough one. It's easier said than done. Amy says, many things are coming up like I thought I was done with that. Yep. Yep. Jess says, both always turns into both for, I cut off. I'm so glad I have a signal because there were times through the day where my phone wasn't picking up any kind of signal. And that was another reason why I felt like there's a lot of artificial interference going on. I had gone to the store, and when I left, and it was like a farmer's market, so it's not one of those big chain stores with the fluorescent lights like zapping you. But when I walked out, I could visually see the static in the air with my naked eyes. I could see all the stuff, and the sky looked pink again, even though it's really cloudy here. And I'm like, what is this? This is so strange and so bizarre. Yet I know I've had this experience before, and I'm thinking, like, when was this? And 2016, 2017 popped up for me when the energies were really working with me. We are getting activated in our physical, but in every meridian, in every chakra, in every energetic point. Our entire Merkaba is getting activated. And so many people are having aches and pains. My teeth have been shifting really bad, like really bad. I can notice it when I eat. Technical glitches, yep, says Karen. The phones, forget about it. I just gave up. I'm having all kinds of missed calls and missed voice messages and missed text messages, and I don't receive them for like days later. So it is what it is, but at first I was equating that to, oh, my incense is kind of coming this way, to Mercury retrograde, which was pretty potent. Hi, Martin. But I feel like it's more than just that. And it's almost like all these energetics are just pulling out all the stops to, first of all, activate us. Definitely there's a huge activation. Amy says it's an unnatural restructuring at the moment. I feel that way. I feel like it's unnatural, but there's also a natural, but it doesn't feel natural, reconstruction going on energetically. And I can only say that because I'll get moments of definitely glitches in the matrix, glitches in my experience. I'll even have like certain flashes of light that like will flash and go away, and I'm like, am I having a stroke? But I know better. I know, hi Carolyn, I know that it is it's energetic, and it's going to be different for everyone. But I know that like the back pain, the hip pain, the joint pain, the teeth shifting, teeth pain, migraines, night, potentially not sleeping at all or needing to sleep during the day. I even noticed this with my grandson. Yesterday, he was up here with me and I did tuning forks on him, and he went downstairs and slept for 4 hours. That is not Clay. Clay stays awake all day long and sleeps at night. No, not yesterday. Yesterday, he slept for 4 hours in the afternoon, which was so crazy. There's so many on here. Hello, everybody. Yes, joint pains, headaches, stomach pains, intestinal issues, which I've been having a little bit of that off and on. And it comes and goes. And very strange. Like I said, for me, the most annoying one is just the shocks. It's like little electrical shocks going all through, like zaps through the body. And it's, Amy, bottoms of my feet are so sensitive. Oh, I've had that before. Thankfully, I don't have that this time. Thankfully. Lower back, says Martin. Yeah. So it's like all of these different parts, and this is so strong. No matter what I do, no matter what I do. And I've got a lot of tools in my toolbox to help, through these physical changes. This is not our first rodeo going through energetic changes, but wow, this one is big. And I just really felt it. I felt it coming on. I felt it coming on like you can feel a storm coming, like a storm front coming. So it's been a couple days, but today was the day where it was like zap. And it's unusual that I did not have any encounters with any human beings today, except for early this morning with my daughter-in-law and her sister. That's just, it's been one of those strange days, Noelle says serious fatigue, out of character for me. Yeah, me too. I actually just got energized coming on here talking to you guys, because I could have just went and laid down and stayed down for the rest of the day here. Make sure to drink a lot of water. This helps move this energy through our bodies faster. Jess says, I feel like all of us as a collective can create our own human of aches and pains. Amy says, we're a Frankenstein of ascension symptoms. I know. I know. It really is bizarre. And I guess let's read into this a little bit. I'm being called to the big guns here. Right off the bat. I lost track of what I was going to say. Carolyn says, yes. Carol Ann, sorry, not Carolyn. Darren, I wasn't going to come on, but I said to myself, sure, why not? Oh. I had an interesting experience today while I was going through like these electrical jolts and stuff. I went over to my sister's house, who I was telling you guys her dog had passed away on Saturday. And nobody was home. I was doing some work over there for my brother-in-law. And there's a whole story about one single deer. The deer have been speaking very loudly too, not just but my sister. When Kylie was a puppy, when they first moved into that house, she came upon one single deer in their yard, which is unusual. They usually, travel together. And she even showed me a video of it the other day. And she said, when I came home from the vet after, Kylie had crossed the Rainbow Bridge, she sat down on her patio and this one single deer walked up almost all the way up to her. And she just sat with it. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Well, when I got there today, I was the only one there. And this one single deer walked up to by the window where I was sitting, and I was like, oh, Kylie, I was having this moment with the deer, and I was also talking to the guides, I was talking to my dad, I was talking to my whole spiritual tribe. I just felt them all there suddenly. And suddenly downstairs, their dryer has, if you turn on the dryer, it goes doo doo doo. All of a sudden the dryer goes doo doo doo, and I'm like, okay. And then I get a text message, or I look down and it's 11:11, and I get a text message from somebody saying 11:11. I'm like, yeah. It was just all these sequence of things that happened all at the same time. And so, that was a beautiful moment to be had. Aside from that beautiful moment, it's just been staticky, weird stuff in the air that I can visually see. I can visually see the static. And it's a little concerning. Not concerning, I guess, but it's just weird. Let's see here. Amy said, how's Luna? Our cat seems to be very energized also. Luna's sleeping. She's been doing a lot of sleeping and a lot of cuddling. She's laying in my bed. Carol Ann, my dog is called Luna. Oh, yeah, Luna's my cat. Darren, there is one deer that I feed up where I walk. Same one comes over to me all the time. Amy, they had a friendship. The deer knew Kylie and no longer with us. Animals are simply amazing. And Martin says, confirmation. Yep. Malamute. Is that a dog? I'm not sure what Malamute is. I'm sorry, Caroline. Yeah, so I mean, there's a beautiful mixture, and they're all, you know, reminding me, telling me that, you know, yeah, we're going through some stuff, but we're here. We are here. And I have been getting the cheering squad is like, yes, you guys are doing great. So, oh yeah, your dog, Luna, like a husky. Oh, nice. I love those kinds of dogs. I love huskies. Malamute. So yeah, today was definitely, not just today, this whole week, definitely had a big, beautiful, energetic of like, just the whole team. They're all there, and they're just constantly, if they're not showing themselves to me through nature, through my third eye, through actual things moving and turning on, they're definitely coming through my grandson. And you know, he's such a pure source too, and I've spent a lot of time with him this week. So definitely. It's interesting though, I'm also seeing different archetypes come through him, and he's only 3. He has names for them. So this has been going on for a while. He has JJ. You know, some kids, like they like to say they call it imaginary friend, even though it's not imaginary. He has this JJ who's been in his field, in his life for about a year now. JJ is his alter ego when he's just like, I want to smash things. I want to be like, when he's like in that energy. And after spending time with me yesterday and doing the tuning forks and everything, Natalie said he woke up this morning and he has a new friend, Jenny, and she's like the nice angelic version of him. He has names for them. And I mean, actually, I don't think he gave the names. I think he's really channeling these entities, I suppose, his guides. Jess, our nephew Jack has something like that. It's just so awesome. It's just so wild. I love it. I love it so much. And he's so open. And so just, I'm learning a lot from him. A lot. I'm learning a lot from him. I'm also learning a lot from my cat Luna, because she knows when to rest. She knows when it's time to go outside and when it's not time to go outside. And I'll tell you, with all these tree cutter chainsaws and wood chippers going on, she don't want to go outside either. And it's cold. It's not enjoyable outside here anyway. It's cold and wet and let's stop talking about the weather. Six of crystals. There's that Libra energy coming into balance. There will be a balance, I'm hearing. This actually, there's a balance that's been needed for a while. And this is earth energy, so it's bringing that balance. We've had to work through the emotions, through the energetics, through the mental. Now, as we are getting activated, as these wires are firing in all directions, we will have more earth energy to actually bring that balance into form. She's holding a flower, and that's telling me about Venus. Venus is still retrograde. Venus has gone into the underworld. This is the feminine energy within us all that has been so out of balance since we've been in these bodies, and then some. And it's almost as if these crystals remind me of like skyscrapers, buildings, man-made constructs. And with this woman holding the flowers and looking like she's really appreciating the value of and the spiritual, the beauty. There's much more to even a flower, to nature, than what meets the eye. And having that appreciation for each and every breath, for having the opportunity to have this experience on the earth, to feel the air, to feel the wind, to feel the sun, to feel the rain, to feel the earth beneath our feet. This is a gift, and it's miraculous. That appreciation for what is given to us by nature. It's bringing back up the scales of balance from what has been built and created. Not saying that it's wrong that we have all these things built and created, but as far as like buildings and stuff, but it's gotten a little out of control. And I live in a beautiful part of the country where there's a lot of nature, yet everywhere I go, there's new structures being built all the time. They're tearing down the land and the woods and all of that. And that it's gotten into such an imbalance. But even just when we take that time to really, truly appreciate, energetically appreciate the gifts of nature, of life. Are you in Lower Michigan? I'm Detroit suburb and heard they got a major ice storm. No, I'm in Pennsylvania. It's not that cold here, but it's just not, it's not springtime weather quite yet. Martin, yeah, the moon is in Virgo. Yep. Amy, Venus goes direct on Sunday. Yep. I know. So looking forward to that. Darren says, I picked some lovely flowers today. That's wild ones on the road. And appreciating that, I'm sure. We don't appreciate what we have until it's gone, says Amy. I know. I pick up bird feathers at my job sites. We have quite the collection going on. I pick them up when I see them too. And I had a collection. I still do. I have an eagle feather up on my wall that was just gifted to me by spirit on this rock that I go to meditate. And I was in one of those, emotional dark nights of the soul. And when I went up there, it was like, here you go, eagle feather, right? I can hear my grandson's back home downstairs. I just came in. Karen, driving and doing, so leaving chat, but still listening. Love to all, stay strong. And love to you, Karen, too. Carol Ann, waiting on a flat and need to know when. Amy, I've been finding coins in odd places. Pennies from heaven. The birds have, yes. Jess says hawks, sandhill cranes, blue jays. The birds have been definitely speaking to me nonstop. And I was wondering, because it started a couple weeks ago, like a little out of control. Like, I'm like, all right, I hear you, I see you. But I think I know this energy. This is our cheerleaders. They're like, we're coming down in all these forms. Pay attention. Stop, if any of you, I don't know if any of you are like still listening to the news or getting sucked into social media and stuff like that. Probably not. But, if the outside influences still kind of pull you in a direction, you're not paying attention to what spirit is showing us, because there's so much more going on than what is being the performance that is going on in the world stage right now. Yes, and drive safe, Karen, and Carol Ann in Perth, Scotland, back to Falkirk, Scotland. So this balance, bringing balance, internal balance, I'm hearing energetic balance. It will begin to balance out in form. Again, like I said, we don't have a whole lot of earth energy at all. Got the moon today in Virgo, and we have Uranus and Taurus. That's about it. That is about it. So we are kind of space cadets, emotional space cadets right now. Oh. And, all the tests and challenges, all this that we're going through, it is really testing our strength, but it's also building this resilience, the strength, that fire. Look at that fire. We all know we have this inside. We are going to get through this. We are going to get through whatever it is that is really putting us to the test, Interesting. I've never seen this before in this card, but there is, and I've actually seen something like this in a flame of a fire before, but can you see? Divine feminine energy. Interesting. Oh, I love this card. So remember your strength. Remember your resilience, your courage. It gets tested for sure. But when we can bring ourselves back to balance, we see just how strong we truly are. We've gone through a lot of tests. There is a balance that is coming for each and every one of us, individually and collectively. We must be open to receiving that. Hi, Steph. I was thinking about a tiger earlier and a lion. Hello. How are you doing? We were just talking, you missed the whole chat about all of us having energetic zaps and weird things going on in the body. And for me personally, it's kind of the same old, like, almost like, it's not, how do I say? I'm trying to give an, description of what it feels like. Have you ever been shocked? Like, not badly, but just like, oh, I got shocked by like something. It's like that. That's what I've been experiencing today, all day long, off and on. And then visually seeing just so much static in the air. I don't know what's going on with my hair. This is driving me crazy. So I decided to come on live. I know I'm not the only one having this very strange, intense experience. It's definitely a big shift. But it's activations. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have higher self. Ooh, and master of crystals. Let's get into stuff. So far, so good, but it's bound to happen at some point. It always does. Well, the moon is in Virgo, so maybe that's in your favor there. It's interesting. I'm just looking at this book and looking at like all of these. these energies coming off of the moon. I guess that's the moon. It's kind of like, it almost looks like what I had been seeing over the last couple of days. Divine justice, there's more balance there. We're not able to see quite yet how, when, why this balance is coming, but it is coming. So trust that. And you said, yes, I connected to the crystal skull yesterday. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Hi. Hi, Steph and Lisa. Okay. We have the Chariot, the Starseed, and the Six of Orbs. This is a lot of beautiful, like, again, I'm getting like the cheerleaders. Oh, where are the, oh. I had like a pink pom-poms in the backseat of my car from one of my niece's dance recitals, and Clay was playing with it, and we brought them inside, and it just, I had that vision of like the pom-poms, like cheering, like, go, go, you've got this, you've got this. I've drawn a woman with a blindfold. Yeah, so back to divine justice. I feel this. I know this to be true. And I don't feel like I'm, like, for me personally, I'm going to just say that I'm not in a space of emotional or mental. I had a couple triggers that were like, but I saw what they were, and they didn't, I had to be grateful for them because I could see my pattern. And it's this pattern recognition over and over and over again. What do you choose? Do you want to continue to choose going in an old way, following this old pattern, or do you want to break this pattern? Would you like to free yourself from this pattern? And a lot of these patterns are in relationships, because our relationship to others, whether it be family, friends, lovers, work's a big one, because work's tied with money, and we've got that Venus in retrograde, and there's a balance. There's been a significant imbalance, I'm hearing. Our higher self is right there speaking to us. We want to level up to be our best version of our higher self, our soul self on this journey. Crystal skull below that. There's so much deep embedded wisdom, and we're getting activated so much. If you're having migraines, I've actually had like heat at the top of my head. I don't typically get headaches or migraines, but there's so much activation going on. So much activation going on. Symbol of faith. Yep. Yeah, that is. Thank you, Martin. Beautiful. Trust your instincts. And it's not blind faith. It's not blind faith. Well, depending on how you want to define blind faith, I guess, for some. But there's a lot of confirmation here. We are moving forward. We're moving ahead. The Chariot. We're always moving forward. We're always moving ahead. Even if you feel like you've been in a void point, or stagnant, or stuck in a loop, we're still moving ahead. These triggers, these pain points, these activations, these aggravating, frustrating experiences, setbacks, whatever it is for you, are your key to getting yourself out of the loop. Do I want to keep doing this? And again, it's a hard challenge. It tests our strength, because it does have to do with people or things, work. For many, it's like work, or it's people or family that we've been operating with for a very long time. And so it's actually feels safe and comfortable, but it's uncomfortable when these things happen. So check yourself when you make excuses for somebody else. Um, uh, yeah, it's mental addiction and avoiding emotions. Yeah, a lot of people do that until you can't anymore. And I feel like a lot of this energy is making it really tough to avoid our emotions. Martin, oh, that's my Saturn Taurus 10th house. I've got Pisces in my 10th house, all of that energy, all of that stellium, the North Node, Saturn, Venus, Mercury. Oh, wait, well, Mercury is about to move into Aries, but I've got all of that in my 10th house. And so that's where I've been heavily tested. And I see it all. And when you see it from a different vantage point of like the universe, like the universal algorithms are shifting. We can choose to stay where we're at, but when the universal algorithms shift, it's first of all blasting us with all kinds of stuff, synchronicities, number sequences, all kinds of things. And it's trying to help us break out of a pattern, a loop, a circle, so that we can change that circle into a spiral so we can have more experiences. Because really time is a spiral, but sometimes we get stuck in a loop. It can be overwhelming, says Lisa. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly that loop. I've seen my loops, and the breakaway, the breakout has been Mars in Cancer, has been emotional, it has been frustrating, it has been aggravating at times. But then when I allow myself to have that moment with myself or with the energy, and then take times to see it not in the same perception I have been viewing it, it is very liberating, because it's our choice. We choose, and we want to stay in it or not. It's always a choice. We're always given a choice. We have the Starseed card. Interesting. I was showing you guys the book, right? And that image popped up in the cards. I'm going to have to actually look this one up in the book, because oh, it is the Fool. It's 0. It's the 0 point energy. This is the trust. This is the trust fall that we're being asked to take. There's a lot of supportive energy here. That trust fall actually is asking us to see something in a new perspective as well. But I do still want to read it from the book, because this deck is amazing, but it's got a lot to it. Amy, I've been tempted to escape this week. Me too. But I sat with the feelings and emotions as uncomfortable as they were. I think that my trigger, Mars in Cancer transiting my natal sun, I think that was my trigger. You mean you're your own trigger? I had a moment, I think I told you guys about that already, with because we have Black Moon Lilith now in Scorpio, and whenever she has a specific aspect or just moving into another sign, it impacts me so much. And I was feeling so good. I'm like, no, what is this gonna be? But then when it happened, I recognized it right away, and it wasn't as bad. Like, it wasn't as bad as what my mind was, because you just never know how these transits are gonna show up for you. You just don't. Darren, it's not as if I don't know that Dustin swapped with Martin on the taunting. Just let it pass. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Darren. I don't understand. All right, let's read this from the book. Because I don't want anybody to be triggered here, unless it's from me. No, I'm just kidding. I want to keep it we're all in a raw state right now, very vulnerable, very energetic, and really we can look at it lightheartedly, but this is some serious psychic surgery that we're going through. And so we really want to all just be here as a source of support for each other. I'm going to read this one. The starseed. Like a meteor racing across the horizon, a glowing sphere of light careens across the night sky, about to nest in the garden of Gaia, planet Earth. The soul of a starseed being is about to be birthed in the physical reality. Lush and inviting, the three-dimensional realm opens, like the crystalline lotus, preparing to receive new life in a field of possibility. That is the starseed's own creation. It carries 13 strands of light-encoded DNA, the 12 perfected strands of Christ consciousness, and the 13th, the master, around which the 12 rotate throughout sacred symbolism. 12 disciples and the Christ, 12 crystal skulls and the master skull, 12 zodiac constellations around the central sun. Numbered 0, this key is the depiction of soul leaping into the physical. It is spirit preparing to manifest form. It is the conscious intention before biological life begins. In the twilight of the night sky, the brightest star in our galaxy, Sirius, illuminates the way. The starseed key represents ultimate trust in the divine, a leaping forward, fearless and resolute. It is about trusting that at the soul level, we know exactly where we are headed and when we want to manifest as earthly beings. When this card appears in a reading, it speaks of impulsivity and faith. It implies that the querent is off on a new quest, unconditionally, knowing that a new experience, an unknown, is about to unfold and become manifest. The querent is invited to ponder the following questions. Do I trust my intention? How am I leaping into the unknown? What new reality am I intent upon creating? How am I being totally guided? What great adventure awaits? Am I jumping into a new cycle of experience in my life? I love that. And you know what popped up? What popped up for me while I was reading that? Impulsivity. Impulsivity. This Mars in Cancer. What else is... there is an impulsive energy. And it might not be from us. We might be the recipient of somebody with impulsive energy that projects at us. That's been my experience. And, you know, in my past, I would jump. What can I do? Yeah, I can do that. And this time I'm like, no, I'm meant to stay very, very still right now. Echo, that starseed card is coinciding well with what all astrologers and tarot card readers are saying about this planetary shift. So cool. I know, I felt really called to like read that. And oh my, that was powerful. That was really powerful. We have one more, and I feel like maybe we need to get this one from the book too. Six of Orbs. Orbs. What are the orbs in this deck? Why am I drawing a blank? Swords. So it's air energy. And I had a dolphin encounter the other week. Multiple dolphins. The dolphin, the symbol of the higher self, which is the overall energy here, the higher self. The dolphin, a symbol of the higher self, seeks to distance itself from the ego-driven turmoil of the previous card and move to higher ground, from the turbulence of the deep, unpredictable waters of the seas of emotion within. The focused mind seeks clarity and calm. Right mind begets right action. Escaping the isolation and separating from confinement of the ego self, higher consciousness guides us to seek peace and to utilize our mental processes to contemplate the elegance of the exquisite design of the conscious universe. This key speaks of how the finely tuned mind can overcome the emotional upheaval of the ego and move forward, while reminding us that we do not escape our thoughts. We bring them with us to hopefully find resolution in calmer waters. Up ahead, the depiction of Metatron's cube, derived from the sacred geometry of the flower of life, symbolizes the higher vibration of the creative mind, which, freed from the storm of emotional upset, is cleared to focus on the architectural wisdom and beauty of all creation. And I just had a download while I was reading that. Amy, Metatron's cube in the background. Yes, yes. So you remember the other day when I was talking about the flower of life and Metatron's cube, and how all of the 5G Wi-Fi towers and all the other artificial, I don't even know what's up there anymore. There's they keep adding stuff to them, are placed in this pattern, just like our natural towers, pyramids and other structures had been. But they're still active. We have our own antennae. We can still, when we are really consciously aware of what we're working with, we can override that. But it's tough. It is today has been tough, I will say. Metatronic death science. Today's been tough with this frequency, because I knew when I got back in my car from walking out of the store, and I could see very clearly the static energy and all of these different energies in the air. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm feeling. This is not natural. Inverted matrix, yeah. And I'm in nature. So actually I feel so much better. I don't know if it's just because we're all connecting energies together, but I feel so much better now, thank you all, than I did before coming on and connecting with you. So thank you guys for being here. They take everything and turn it upside down, that inverted matrix. Yep. And it you know why? Because of the blasts from the sun and the planets. This is our chance to continue to elevate in consciousness and activation. And so the other side, the flip side, is upping their game. And we got to really take good care of ourselves and the animals, our pets and animals, because you do notice that they are affected, and children, everybody. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mm. Oh, that's okay, Darren. No, you didn't trigger anybody that I know of. I just felt an energy. I'm like, let's not do that. Let's not go there right now, but it's all good. We're good. Martin. You feeling it too? And we're all feeling it. It's like, wow. Connect with the earth. This planet is our home and we should protect it. Yeah. Yeah. Especially those of us, and maybe that's everybody here, that are earth grid keepers, like really here to protect the energy of the earth, not just use the energy of the earth for, like, earth is here to help us in every step of the way. But and she's emitting her own frequency, for sure. That is helpful and really helping to penetrate the artificial energies. While I was reading, it happened. Wow. Wow. I feel prompted to read Higher Self, just one more, because it's really calling to me, and I love the depiction of this card. So let's see what this one says. I don't use these cards enough to Higher Self. What is the higher self, and how do we access it? Freud would have spoken of the subconscious, but Starseed delves deeper into that higher mind that each of us has the potential to source throughout our life experience. The priestess represented in the card is the aspect of ourselves that is the bearer of the hidden scrolls, the esoteric wisdom that lies in the still waters of our reflecting pools, our higher consciousness. Some might describe the scroll as the Akashic record, where all is written and recorded in universal memory. We have the ability to access that information when we silence the distracted, chattering mind, and go deep into the silence of our souls. Here is located the entire wealth of experience of all that is, that ever was, and always will be. The higher self is the well of esoteric knowledge, the knowing of the workings of the greater universe. It is the psychic vision, the intuitive sense, the mystery school of the soul, and the presence of the unseen forces of nature. It is the part of the querent that knows the truth. Ruled by the moon, the waters of the higher self are illuminated in its glow, depicting the occult or hidden wisdom coming to light. We bear in mind that it is the moon that moves the tides of the great seas, gentle at times, crashing into the shores at others. Hence, the card can portend misuse of the psychic realms that lies lurking in these waters. Balance is the key, represented in the number 2, to which this major arcana card corresponds. And how much balance do we see here? When we have such knowledge, it is a responsibility. When we are attuned to our psychic abilities, our energetic power, it is a great responsibility to use it wisely. Not everybody does. Some use it for there's dark magic, black magic, and there's white magic. These are just words, but I feel like you guys all know what I'm talking about. And it is important to make a conscious choice of how you're going to utilize this energy. Saturn's black cube. It is really important. Should we read the Master of Skulls? I feel like this one wants to be read too. Might as well. This is an amazing deck. I'm not sure. Or Master of Crystals. Oh, this is, okay. Okay, the Master. So, the crystals, I believe, in this deck represent earth energy, pentacles. In the value system and traditions of the past, the suit of pentacles of the tarot had to do with one's material possessions, business, wealth, and aspects of the physical health. It still does in these keys, in which the suit is now represented as crystals, the flowers of the earth. From the higher perspective, one of honoring the elements of Gaia and celebrating the elemental energies of this reality, the suit of crystals raises the interpretive bar to focus us on the higher aspects, the ability to manifest spirit into form, creation of abundance and prosperity, and the examination of the true value of possessions versus spirit. To the starseed who understands that you can never possess enough, life is about being enough. This is the most difficult of the suits. Embracing abundance without being addicted to it is a prevalent theme throughout. Clearly, the suit is ruled by the astrological earth signs, and they do portray those aspects of our lives in which career, security, and financial successes are important to the seeker. We ask you, the seeker of wisdom, to look beyond into the lens of the crystals for more. And when we get to the Master, which actually was below higher self, enter the ultimate male authority. The Master is as much about a figure of authority in the querent's life as it is about the aspect within oneself, an inner strength and knowledge of the domain of the suits represented. He has achieved mastery of his own process, overcoming the ego self and reaching pure consciousness of the field of influence, his kingdom that he has mastered. Mastery is also implied. Mastery also implies an understanding of the yin-yang harmony in spirit. He is aware of the gentility of love, the unconditional depth of those waters, and can reach into the feminine aspects of his being to exalt the energy of himself in chalices, emotions, and all the other suits. So this is mastering. Oh, a little bit more here. This is a card of arrival, and it carries significant responsibilities with it. Masters are leaders. Their wisdom and authority are best utilized when they turn them back out to the society for a greater good of all. And yeah, that is really like the name of the game, right? To come to self-mastery, higher self, which then in turn, we begin to really master this game on earth. It's not about the ego-driven desires. Let's see what you guys are saying. Darren, I know I have abilities. I don't know how to use them. I do my best. Jess, my mother is a Wiccan. Nothing but good magic. Never play with the dark side of things. Yeah. Martin, you have everything you need in your toolbox, Darren. Understanding your purpose can be found in your rising sign. Interesting about this Libra moon speaking of rising signs, I'm a Libra rising, and I feel like the build up to this full moon and Venus moving direct has really taught me a lot about myself, and I feel like I have really built an amazing relationship with myself, and then the outside world comes in to test me in relationships to others. And I really do feel that I've passed those tests. I did have a moment, and I caught myself even wanting to talk about it to somebody else, not in a gossipy way, but I realized that really was unnecessary as well. That I did know deep in my inner knowing what was going on, and that I really don't need to like talk about how I was being challenged and tested by another. So I'm still learning. We all are. We're still learning and growing and evolving and being activated right now energetically in a big way. But I feel like we're doing a good job. It has been an interesting day for sure. So I'm so glad. I feel so much better just connecting with you all. And so I thank you. I thank you all for joining and connecting with all of our energetics together. I feel like we've come to more of a neutralized space. We're not in this alone. And many of us, we're all having these zaps and aches and pains and tests and challenges and purges, and we'll get through it. I feel like we're gonna bust it. Usually it gets harder before there's a big opening of newness. Jess, yes, it has. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Love to everyone. Definitely love to all of you. I know, twice in 1 week. Today I was just like, I gotta connect. There's just so much energy. It is always a great time. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Yes, and balance, Darren. We are working to that balance. It's I feel it. And even if it doesn't seem that, it's not going to seem that way in the outside world of Crazy Town, but we can bring that together within ourselves, and then collectively in these little pockets, and these communities are going to grow and expand. And that's definitely been something I have visually been able to see more and more and more. Just understanding that we're all kind of swimming in some very interesting energy, but it's happening. So much love to you all. Thank you so much for being here. Until the next time, who knows? Who knows when that's going to be? It might be tomorrow. I don't know. But I love doing these lives. So much love to you guys. Take care. Have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.